My name is Nick Bean and I'm running for state representative in the 79th district. I'm 28 years old, I live in Wilton Center, and my story is very simple. I went to school, I got a job, I bought a home, and now I'm angry. I'm angry at what our legislators are doing in Springfield, and I'm very upset with the direction our state is heading. I'm running for very few simple reasons, and the first one is we need to hold the line on taxes. Secondly, we need to bring jobs back to Illinois, and the third thing I'm running on is that we need someone to fight the corruption that's been plaguing Springfield for far too long. The first thing we got to do in Springfield is we need to reform and restructure the budget. It's not a complicated process, we just got to spend less money than what we take in. Year after year for the last decade, we've had record-setting revenues. So up until 2009, we had more money coming into Springfield than we had in 2008. In 2008, we had more money in Springfield than we had in 2007, and so on and so on. So the problem hasn't been a revenue problem, it's been a spending problem. Here we are, we've been left with, some people say that our pension system is $100 billion in debt and unfunded. Our state is $13 billion in the hole, and even this year's budget relies on $4 billion worth of borrowing. We cannot keep funding our state in that way, so things have to change. Another thing we need to do is make Illinois a better place to do business. Over the last decade, we've lost somewhere in the neighborhood of 730,000 residents and jobs. People understand and businesses know that Illinois is not a business-friendly place to locate. There's a couple of things that we can do to make Illinois more attractive to businesses, and one of them would be we need to reform the workers' compensation laws in Illinois. Right now in Illinois, if an employee of yours on his lunch break goes out and has a couple drinks at the restaurant or at a bar, comes back to work after his lunch break is over, gets injured on the job, or does something horrific and injures someone else, that employee can sue you and your business, and you're liable for their actions while being intoxicated on the job. Stuff like that is a hurdle that employers and job creators have to overcome. Also in Illinois, we have a very complicated EPA permitting process. If I wanted to bring my business to Illinois and start manufacturing something, on average it takes 3 years to get through all the EPA hurdles and finally get a permit to create my factory. A permitting process that takes 3 years in Illinois typically takes about 3 months in Indiana. Now, I'm not saying that we have to reduce our EPA standards, I'm just saying that we need to streamline the permitting process to be able to start jobs, creating jobs, and attract more businesses to our state. The main thing that I need to do in Springfield is to fight corruption, and I believe that we can end corruption through increased transparency. And that's why I support measures such as a governmental sunshine commission and also a line-by-line or forensic audit of the entire state budget. Both of these measures open up the books, and they allow everyone to review the budget line by line. And when I say everyone, I mean citizens, I mean you and me, governmental watchdog groups, labor unions, and businesses. We can all see the budget, go through it line by line, and then we're all able to identify areas of waste, fraud, and abuse that can be eliminated from the budget. Another thing that we need to do with our budget is completely restructure the budgeting process. Right now, the budgeting process is pretty simple. If you are a municipality or a governmental agency, as long as you've spent all the money that the state had given you the year before, you can count on roughly a 4% increase in your budget for the following year. That encourages state agencies to spend as much as they can in order to receive that 4% increase the following year. This budgeting process has left us, $100 billion in the hole, and we have to try something different. There is a budgeting process that is called zero-based budgeting, and I think that we need to change over to that process because it's a new idea and it's going to be something that should save billions of dollars. Zero-based budgeting is just like it sounds. All state agencies and any bureaucracy that receives state funds has to sit down and they start their budget at zero. And then from there they have to build a case for their yearly budget. Line by line they add up the cost of the projected year. And if that means they need $1,000 for paper clips, then you write it down. If that means they need $1 million for payroll, then you write it down. If that means you need $500,000 for a lease on a property, you write it down. Other states have tried it and it's worked very well and it's saved billions of dollars. That is a new budgeting structure that we have to try. But mainly we need to control spending, keep taxes low so that we can continue to develop our business base and encourage other businesses to come to Illinois, and that's mainly the reasons I'm looking forward to going to Springfield.